Try to get it straight here. All the world is but a stage, and each man is but an actor. And our actors, as I have foretold you, are but spirits, as are the props in the set, and do vanish away into the things that the props in the sets do vanish away into. Oh man, to be or not to be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler to take arms against a sea of troubles, and in so doing, thus to end them, or in my case, to sleep. Boy, to sleep and escape the pains and of the slings and arrows of outrageous misfortune. Yeah, it's like walking in the Garden of Eden through the various levels of the intoxic forest. What is it? It was the Divine Comedy, Bhagavad Gita, the Egyptian Book of the Dead, or was it Elmer Gantry, or was it Zoroaster? Zoroaster, the foundation of all of the theosophical concepts, perceptives of philosophies. Oh man, I am so tired of having to keep going through this. I am an old man who has been obsessively, compulsively studying everything and anything that God, the world around him, presents to him to study. So I do what's right because it's right for me. And I've looked at most everything and anything, and I've accepted the fact that people have a right to live within the parameters of the law of right and righteousness, and that they have the right to be respected for doing right. You know? So here I am. I am a servant to we the people. I have a concept. I have other files. My name is Richard Moore, is one word. That's my pen name, public name. And my last name is Lowther, Lowther. And I am on YouTube on my page. And this is a preliminary to the many other ones. This is the public statement that needs to be publicized in press, magazines, videos exchanged, brought out forward. All right, this is the deal. The United States government is loaded with treason. Yeah, conspiracy, collusion. It was the way the country was designed and invented. I am, by rules and law, a private attorney general. And the other filmings that I've made of recently will give you more insight than I probably am going to give you now, because not being mentally, emotionally medicated, as is prescribed by a psychiatric neurologic council for post-traumatic stress syndrome, disorder, surgical trauma, battered child syndrome. And it's like, I don't operate computers, all right? I do and I don't. I mean, I'm enough to get on here and get up here, but it just taxes my emotions to deal with a computer that's fighting me. My damn pointer just keeps every time jumping around wherever it wants to. And I got another computer that had me in France, all right? And it's like, what the hell am I doing talking to people in France on my Facebook page? It's like, okay. And it's like, where is it going? What is all this about? I am mandated by the United States Supreme Court. U.S. Congress has formed a law that says, because I am a witness victim to acts of treason, I am mandated to testify and perform knowledgeable inclusion, accessory by knowledge, accessory by a withholding of proper process and performance, and the list goes on and on. And Georgia is at the foundation core of it, with the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, Volume 29, 2004 edition, Title 40, Chapter 14, Subsection 7, wherein the judicial decision on page 97374, wherein the judge of the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals does overrule the legislative code of federal regulations, all right, and does write a case law and have it published. So it's a RICO Act across the state of Georgia. And with that, the 11th Circuit Appeal Court Justice and all of the 11th Circuit is accessory collusive conspiracy for the last, 2004 edition to now 18 years of public record. That means that anyone in the state of Georgia, whether they're state or federal, if they have anything to do with traffic and laws, all right, and they're required to know the law, that they're accessory collusion conspiracy by law. Rule of law says they are that. All right. So if they've done what they're supposed to do, and they've gotten the first semester constitutional law. Now, Hillsdale College, Hillsdale, first semester constitutional law, it's free. Hillsdale EDU, all right, college. Tell Larry Arn that I sent you, as I could use him knowing I'm propagating his assistance, because I want his assistance when I create a mentor metaphysical university union. I don't have to have secretarial skills when I have a quality legal secretary, right there to back me up and take care of my needs and interact with me. Just like I need, since my license has been seized, I need somebody with a driver's license to carry me from point A to point B in this process procedure. And I need my U.S. attorneys, my U.S. Marshal Service agents and representatives who were originally with me, who I don't know where the hell they've gone. I need them also around me to interact with me. I need people to keep me straight, and that's why I'm looking for the Georgia Attorney General for handling the baseline paperwork for the evidentiary hearing. You got to have an evidentiary hearing first before you have a preliminary hearing, before you have a habeas corpus, before you have criminal trials. And it's like, okay, there's the process. I need somebody who knows the process and walk me through it with them. Even though I may think I know it, I'm going to have somebody there to keep me on track. Woo! I am so stressed out, man. I need my meds to get over this stress factor, to keep my focus on track. Oh, man. And U.S. District Court, Northern District of Georgia, David Parks White, Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Georgia. All right, anyways, that's two attorneys for me. And for a federal prosecutor, for a federal prosecutor. Uh, John Hubbard, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the state of Utah, a Mormon. Yeah. So I'm a metaphysical priest dealing with a Mormon, dealing with other people, man. It's like, I don't know who's who. A couple of Catholics. Yeah, and it's like, okay. Then it's like something that the state of Georgia is in RICO, massive collusive conspiracy, whole statewide. They have no authority wherewith in that criminal action to even consider executing a voting system that should be manifest by not by the Department of Justice, because they're included in the corruption. I mean, if you've got the Department of Public Safety, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, the commissioner, former FBI agent over the DMC or whatever it is, and he's a colonel. He's a colonel over the National Guard and the state militia. And it's like, you got these people in powered positions writing laws and violating the Constitution. And it's like, oh, well, we'll just cover it up. You know what I'm saying? We just, hi, and blow it off. Get you focused on something else. And where that focus is, somebody focusing, getting you focused on something else, by the performance of their deed, they are accessory in the conspiracy to commit treason. And some of the acts they're doing are as they're writing laws, which is an act of treason. All right? You can't make a deal or a contract without 2/3 of Congress, I mean, the Senate, as I understand, co-signing it. All right. So if you're going to make a deal with Russia about uranium, you have to have 2/3 of Congress co-sign it. Otherwise, you're committing treason. Yeah. And if, like, you're bringing in 2 or 3 tons of cocaine on a ship of yours, and it just gets washed underneath, because the people that are impounding it are the ones that it was sent to. Now, if you got this synthetic heroin coming in across the border, fentanyl that is too strong and it's killing people, and you're bringing people in illegally, unlawfully, and you're taking care of them, you're doing that criminal act of treason. And if you leave that damn fence down, and I've been trying to tell y'all, I've been trying to give y'all the last 10 years to rewrite the laws, change the laws, while you've been obstructing me from even contacting you. And I haven't had an attorney anywhere in this help. And it's time to get it straight. I mean, all this shit's got to stop. We've let this stuff go on until we're in a deep hole. There's no gasoline to amount to anything. Poor people are getting poorer. And I got a plan to restructure it, but it's going to take $5.5 trillion to set up the pipeline from the Great Lakes through the mountain corridor down to Lake Lanier, with all the lakes that spin off from it, rivers spin off from it, and the roadway systems, and the corridor going 100 miles, 50 miles each side of the Peak Ridge, and the corridor tube of the railway system and the trucking system, with the warehousing and the storage units and the manufacturing and the plant industrial factors. inside the mountain. And then all these people that have problems, like wounded warriors, battered people, abused people, falling apart, old people, people getting out of prisons, mental institutions, are going to be there in their own housing places in Fort Eisenhower corridor. Yeah, so I mean it's basically a military corridor under the Eisenhower National Defensive Highway System. There's additional funding from Department of. See, I need my medications, well, why I'm bringing that out in court as to how Raffensperger, Secretary of State, and ID, and having my medication canceled and appointments with my personal care physician canceled. And I don't know who's who and what's what. And there's nobody telling me anything. And my computer's been stolen and shut down, which I've got it. You know what I'm saying? It's got a lot of stuff on it of evidentiary proof, but it's been blacked out. And I've received a program, and it's like scattered, smothered, and covered. I am not crazy. My evidence stands on its own merit. It's not about how screwed up I am without my medication. It's, does what I say, what I point to, have validity? Is it valid? Is it viable? Is it perceivable, conceivable, conceptual? Is it effective? Is it interactive and distractive? Is it violating the laws? I'm here, front line and center, to tell you that America belongs to us Americans. I'm telling you that the payoff from this is going to a mentor metaphysical university union and banking system, all right, for the East Coast National Defensive Highway thing. That I'm just drawing a salary, and the committee of many people, the judge at the top, Thomas, he's going to be on the board members, and Story's going to be on the board members, and hell, even Glenn Hirschner is going to be a board member. And I want people to watch this thing. All right. I got inventions and design for electromagnetic drive shaft generators to drive cars, to drive bicycles, to drive planes, airplanes, trains, buses. You build them and they run. Just that simple. You build them and they power the system. Yeah. And there's no fuel going into the air. Now got into this in my experimentations with hydrogen fuel cells. Yeah. And I had my vehicle, man, what they say was going to 87 miles per hour at an idle. Yeah. Was getting 180 miles to a gallon. You know what I'm saying? I was working on helping people, man. I'd help people. I go down the road day or night. Somebody broke down, I help them. Yeah. And I put people with people in the program. Yeah, I've got a few hundred people I've helped get straight for more than 5 years at a time. And it's like, but yet I had to push them all out of my life because I know how corrupt the government, FBI agents, there's good ones and there's bad ones, but I'm telling you, you can't tell who's who just by the books. You know what I'm saying? So I take everyone and everything with a grain of salt. And I judge myself and I keep myself doing what's right because it's right for me at that moment. And I'm a patriot. I am a special services, operations, interactive person. And I don't go for treason from the government or from foreigners, or it's like, no, don't go terrorizing people and using fear to motivate them. I just don't go for that. Yeah. And I help people grow and change and become better people. And hopefully, by what I'm doing here, yeah, but it's time. The clerk of courts, U.S. District Court, Northern District, Georgia, sent me information I need to get with the Attorney General, Chris Carr, state of Georgia, and help get him to get this paperwork going and get this case, U.S. District Court, NDGA, case number 1:13 CV 3027. Get it reinstated where it was seized by Chief Justice then Julia Carnes, who was put on to the 11th Circuit. That was a habeas seized. It was put on to the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals after I had already told Obama and John G. Roberts about the treasonable acts going on, and they didn't give me any assistance. They just went ahead and put her on the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals, and now all of those judges are accessory. And I'm telling you what, my suit is for each one individually for $1 trillion. I know that's everything each one of them's got, but if it was the FBI doing it, the FBI would take everything and use it for them. I'm taking everything and using it for the American people. Now, who's an American person? American person is somebody who is born here, who has a permit to be here, like a green card validation. Who's real here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about some student in school with a green card because we're paying for their education. I'm talking how many, we're 130, 140 trillion dollars in debt, is it? You know what I'm saying? You got people who are veterans who are hungry and don't have a place to stay. You got wounded people. You got people that are good people that have helped people all their life and never looked for nothing in return to amount to anything, and not indebted people. Now the game plan with a mentor metaphysical union university is $20 an hour minimum wage, and you figure that out. The idea is to put together 1 million of them, installing electromagnetic drive shaft generators in vehicles across the United States. So that means those drive shaft generators have to be delivered to them, and they have to have a place to stay. So, a mentor metaphysical union university, when the time comes and they've been propagating and acting right, they sell their property and they move on to a designated place that they have assisted in choosing to have their personal businesses, their personal property. But the deal is at an altitude of 1,600 feet above sea level. All right. Now that would take in any flooding, tidal waves, anything like that. And at 1,600 feet above sea level, that means they're probably in a corridor cave type situation where they've got a few miles of warehousing and this, that, and the other inside, and they've got housing outside and farming. And the deal is to help them, to help themselves, and that'll help America. Now, who's got a better plan? Show me a plan to help millions of the American people. Those parts have to be prefabricated, made before they can be placed into warehousing units. That's going to give hundreds of thousands of people across America jobs, manufacturing springs and screws and copper wiring and electric magnets, which in Canton, North Georgia, in the mountains there. And down in the mountain, the permanent magnets are manufactured to size and length. Now, the deal about when you're in the ground, it's the average at 6 feet underground is like 60 degrees. You know what I'm saying? So you wear a little bit more clothes. Yeah. And it's a little on the cool side in the ground. But if we have I need my medication. If we have an asteroid come and hit the water and it's a red hot asteroid, major size, it's going to create steam and smoke and smog and it's like a tidal wave. And then if it happens at the time when there's a alignment of the planets, then the Earth stasis pulls the water in the right directions, compounding situations. 150 miles in from the coast on the East Coast, all right, if the asteroid hits in the Atlantic Ocean, 150 miles inland, 1,600 feet maximum height, generated with the ramping up and the spinning of the earth and this, that, and the other, tidal wave, tsunami type thing. Planet alignment titles. I'm losing again. I need my meds. Fortunately, I've got the last 10 years of working on this, and I got many of it documented, written down, but I don't type on a computer very well. It just drives me crazy, as me and computers don't get along. But I can take an automobile engine apart in the dark and put it back together in the dark. You know what I'm saying? It's like there are certain things that I'm good at and certain things I'm not good at. Yeah. My nature is reclusive, isolating, studying, looking at things. But yet at the same time, I make myself get out and do and interact with people, yeah, so that I can be a benefit to myself by being a benefit to them. And boy, I did love to dance, but this diabetic neuropathy and my feet going numb from all this computer sitting and documenting and all, and having had my license unlawfully seized from me for a super speeder, and it's like, I need help. All right. So now it falls on Glenn Hirschner, yeah, to help me with this podcast or whatever it is, and this situation, as he is now knowledgeably included in this acts of treason by the state of Georgia, who has no righteous right to prosecute anybody. And those that district attorney for Fulton County, I can't think of his name. See, I need my medication. That's the reason why my medication was, and my meet with the personal care physician were seized to keep me from being able to function to prosecute. Yeah? I'm emotionally damaged. Okay. So I put it on the world at large. I put it on the judicial system of the United States of America. I put it on senators and congressmen to see to it that I get the court to prosecute this. And let me tell you what, yeah, to withhold the proper performance is to obstruct justice. And that means every one of you people that are a government employee of any kind are responsible to tell each other. And I need to get an address where people can write whistleblower documents and testify on other people so they can get themselves out from under this crime that you've been had forced on you. Give you a chance to reboot your own life, your own spirit, reboot America. All right, with that, I'm going to stop for now. But I'll be back again. I got more to say. I got more to say.